the Warrior Cats. But the Warrior Cats Club channel is actually based off a club. Was used to be only for a club that I had at my school that I was a part of. And I'll be reading, and I started making a book for the Warrior Cats Club history for next year. So I've decided I will read it to y'all because, and just letting you know, this is targeted for the club members of next year. So some stuff might be a little confusing. I'll just be reading chapter 1 today. Well, I'll just be reading chapter 1. In this, maybe possibly chapter 2, if I have enough time. But, yeah, let's just get started. Also, some stuff isn't 100% correct, because this was a lot, because, like some of the older stuff, might not be correct, considering some stuff I kind of forgot what happened, so yeah. With all that out of the way, let's just get started with chapter 1. Chapter 1, New Beginnings. So, you're reading this because you want to know the club's history. Well, you're in luck. Sit back and relax. So, on the first day of school in 2023, I was running along the track when I saw two boys messing around. When I walked up to them, I noticed the Warrior Cat's book in the corner of my eye. Before I could say anything, ring the bell. I saw the one in the blue jacket holding the book. I asked, "Hey, is that yours?" "Yeah, why?" he asked. "Well, because I like Warrior Cats too." He picks up the book. "Nice," he responded. "I'm Ophelia. What's your name?" I asked. "Nate." "And that's Carter," he responded, pointing towards the boy in the green shirt. "Let's go to lunch now," I mentioned. Now, I know we're about to jump to random stuff, but after I joined the club, not a lot of stuff happens. The one thing that happened was Gabe joining, but we will learn more about him later. Since, of course, there's not a lot to say about this, especially chapter 2. Chapter 2 is pretty small, short. I'll just read my chapter 2 as well. Chapter 2, The Den. It had been in the middle of the year when I had an idea. "Why don't we build a den?" Nate looked up. "That's a great idea, Carter." Carter paused. "Sure, why not?" Gabe looked like he was about to jump out of his he was about to jump out of his shoes. "I'll grab P-Towel." "Okay," I responded as he ran away. I whispered to myself, how does somebody pronounce people wrong? As I grabbed sticks, I saw Gabe come with a huge group of people. "Carter's going to be writing down names forever," I giggled. Everyone started grabbing sticks. The den looked so big. We all went into the den to see if we could all fit. "I have claustrophobia," Gabe squeaked as he ran out. I shrugged. I noticed Cameron and Vinny breaking rules. "Exile!" I shouted. While they were escorted out. As I watched them walk away, I noticed Kaysen with a teacher. Since we still have a lot of time, I'll read to you. Technically, I'll just talk about what I'm... It's technically not reading because I don't have it written down, but I'm still going to just read it. Technically say it. Well, never mind. Let me just do chapter 3. Chapter 3, The Betrayal. Wait, no, that's wrong. That's chapter 4, sorry. Chapter 3, The Sadness. Kaysen came. As Kaysen was walking, I noticed the teacher shouted, "Hey, you need to take the den down. It's dangerous." I denied it, but no matter what I tried, the teacher wouldn't agree, and we had to destroy our den. I grabbed a whole bunch of sticks as the rest of the group grabbed more sticks. We threw them all in the woods and sat down looking at the ground. I quickly ran off crying, and I didn't know what happened after that, but as I looked at the ground, I noticed Nate walk by with Carter. They didn't speak, and neither did I. But then I wondered, is this Cason's fault? After all, he was the one who came down with the teacher. This must be his fault. He brought the teacher down. He told it on us. So I quickly ran to go find Nate. Not Nate. No, I went to go find Cason. I confronted him, but he denied it. No matter what, I didn't believe him. And as we sat down, I noticed half the club members have quit. My ears went all. I went all droopy. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but I just know that I felt droopy and sad. Our club was being destroyed. I noticed Gabe was still there. That I realized, but I didn't realize what was about to happen next. Since once again we still have a lot of time, I'll read to you Chapter 4. Chapter 4, Gabe's Betrayal. As we all met up the next day, I sat in the back of where the club used to be and stared where the den used to be. I wrote in my journal about how I missed the den. And then suddenly Gabe came along, and so did Nate and Carter. Suddenly, Gabe said one of our band words. He said it in a funny voice. Nate stood up. That's a banned word. He tried to deny it. I said deputy, he hollered. 1 day ban. Actually, 3 day ban. I only said that because we had spring break anyway. So there's no point in having a 1 day ban and not just banning him for that long. Gabe ran away crying. But then I saw him a few minutes later coming up with a whole group of kids. Oliver was the first one there. Why did you ban him from the club just because he said ooh ooh? Carter and Nate were denying, and then I shouted, "Oh my God! I just want to shoot you all with a gun!" Oliver hollered, "Hey!" He said, "That's violent!" He shouted. "Everyone hates me. Do you want to be known as a bully?" Oliver shouted. And then I started tearing up. Nobody liked me anyway, as I yelled, running away. I sat next to our dugout crying. Lola and Emmy came to comfort me, and of course, back then I didn't care, but looking back, I wish I would have cared more. They're the only people that even cared about me. Well, obviously not. There was more people who cared about me, but, I mean, of course, since Gabe got the whole group against me, that group didn't like me at all. A few days later, after spring break, I noticed Gabe had his own little club. I sat down, wondering what he was going to do with his whole club, and then I saw the one thing I couldn't imagine. One of his club members had her stick. I gave him a death stare, as we had a new club member who had joined a little bit before, and someone of Gabe's club had stolen their stick. We declared war, and we declared war against his club, and from that day on, we began getting all mad over our sticks, and then suddenly a teacher came by. Chapter 5. Gabe's club. The teacher had come by and told us to put down the sticks, and if she saw us with them again, this whole back area would be banned. We set down the sticks and put all of our club sticks next into a giant hole. I sat down and looked at the ground again. Stupid Gabe, I whispered to them. Gabe's whole club is just gonna get a turn against us. And then they're gonna try and get us banned. Or just get us in trouble. From that day forward, Gabe's club had just not left us alone. Even one time when Nate and Carter, one week when Nate and Carter were gone because they had a field trip, he said he would declare war. And even though he was probably joking, I knew I had to keep you ready. I grabbed a couple of kids, Cameron and Vinny, who had originally been exiled but had learned from their mistakes. But then Vinny eventually had his own club, but I didn't get mad at him like I did with Gabe. Because Gabe had been exiled for a day, 3 days actually, because, he broke our code. He said a word that was against the club rules. Vinny just wanted to make his own club, which I understand. Clubs are fun. So Cameron and I were collecting errors when Eliana and Emmett went about. Emmett and Eliana asked if they could join, and I responded, well, Nate and Carter don't usually let us join because this is a friend group, technically, but you can still help. We need helping. So we all just grabbed moss and made beds, grabbed a bunch of herbs, and got our sticks ready for the upcoming war, because we knew he was going to do it. We had enough of him. We confronted him, and then he said it was all one big joke. I didn't handle it. I told him we were going to war tomorrow, and there's no going back. So, he didn't show up the next day. I tried to hide all my anger, as he had disobeyed. But I didn't. I just ignored him. I just ignored it all. The next week, Gabe got on my huge nerves. He got me in trouble, not once, but twice that week, and 2 days in a row. Happily, Emma, my best friend, had shown him off. I made her own club eventually, the Harry Potter Club, but she was in a club we were going to go against war to. We're going to go against war to Gabe's club, and we didn't make them just because we needed help. We made them because we genuinely wanted to help. Although Oliver didn't believe me. Who is Oliver? He's a part of the club, Gabe's club, and he always stands up for Gabe no matter what. And Kason, who I eventually thought he was a traitor, he is actually very nice. He ended up being a pretty great kid. But, of course, he was friends with Oliver, but he said but I'm pretty sure he wasn't by the end of the year, because he went on about how Oliver always stands up for Gabe, and he never stands up for him. And I agree. He never stands up for anyone but Gabe. It was only on field day, which I realized my life was going to get even worse. Chapter 6, Field Day. On field day, even though the Warrior Cats Club was getting all ready for field day, and of course, Gabe got the Warrior Cats Club to split up, so it was just me going to the back of the field with Cameron, Eliana, and Emmett, because Nate and Carter have just given up. They still welcomed and loved the club. They really liked it, but they were scared Gabe was going to get everyone in trouble again. So, Eliana, me, and Cameron, and Emmett were chilling at the back, but then I remembered. Shoot! I have to go field day with Gabe. And then I couldn't stop talking about it. I was just like, I have to get paired up with Gabe. Why Gabe? And of course, I knew it. I didn't want to be paired up with him because he was the one who got me in trouble for no reason. When I asked Lily why she got me paired up with Gabe, she said she was sorry. We were the only kids. And obviously I understand because she would never pick, because she knew what Gabe was doing. I'll finish chapter 6 another time because I'm out of time right now.